Welcome to the Be Happy Now show. Flex your soul connection muscle and be your inner guide to fulfillment and purpose. I'm Claudia-Sam. If you know that you're here for a bigger reason, this is the place to be. Together, we ditch the self-care guilt and quit the go with less fear and more trust. Tune in to living life in alignment with your full potential. The Be Happy Now show starts now. Hi, welcome to another episode of the Be Happy Now show. I'm in Florida at my sister's. She lives near Sarasota. And I don't know if you've ever been here, but wow, it's so fun to be with palm trees and the heat. And I just had the possibility of, or the opportunity to be with my coaches and my business friends who we all met in Savannah, Georgia. And oh my gosh, the beautiful colored houses with the huge trees with Spanish moss and the deep history and the energy that is very profound in that place. It was such a beautiful opportunity. And what I wanted to share with you today was how to be in a solutions mindset without panicking, especially when we something happens that's not planned, and then we could easily go into panic, or we can easily go in, panic and panic attacks and stress and anxiety. And then that in itself can totally change, how we show up and the opportunities and that we receive, and even our receiving capacity. Like, for example, when you lose your phone and then all of a sudden you could start panicking that all your pictures are going to be lost. And then you block any solutions from you block any solutions from even coming to you. And why this is coming up is because there was an incident that happened on my way to Georgia. I drove from Florida to Georgia. And that was the first time that I drove the longest by myself. Okay. It was just over 6 hours with the stops that I did. And I didn't fall asleep, and I made it safely with an incident that is not an accident. Everyone is okay and I'm safe. And it ended up being a joyful and funny experience that I'm going to share with you. And I feel inspired to share with you ingredients. So, my 4 ingredients to an easy solutions mindset. Instead of letting panic rule the day, or instead of acting from a place of pure heat, reactivity, not joy, detachment and disconnection from why we were even on the way to where we are in that moment in life. So finding solutions for me can be really joyful, and for some people it might be really draining. And I just want you to please imagine the last time that you might have been or were in a situation where you were so emotionally charged that your heartbeat was racing, that maybe your face was becoming really red, that you had a hard time to speak, and you almost maybe wanted to go in a ball and wanting someone to help you out. This particular picture for me comes when it brings me back to when I lived in Holland. I think it was 2009 and 2010 that I went there for a student exchange. And my friend Joelle and we decided to go for a weekend trip in London. So fun in Europe. You can just go travel everywhere. And we went to London, and we were taking the bus from Amsterdam or it was maybe Utrecht, but anyway, I think Utrecht to London. And then on the way back, I forget the exact time, okay, but it was like the bus leaves at 10 p.m. so that you have the ride back home overnight. Well, we got there at like 9:55 p.m. They had already closed the door, and they were not letting us on the bus. We saw the bus drive away, And I remember being in a ball on the wall, crying, being in another city. And at that time, we didn't have like the smartphones, like it was total flip phone, and you had to buy a SIM card and to be able to even call within Europe. And I mean, we didn't have easy access to communication with the world as much as we do 10 years plus later. And I remember that was a panic moment. That was a moment when I could have gone into solutions, or I didn't have to go. I had no choice but to go in solutions mindset. But my way to solutions mindset was like a really hell of an experience because I remember feeling so vulnerable in a negative way, so small, so um, pushed aside. Like I was mad at the people from the bus company for not letting us on the bus when we were technically on time. We just didn't know we had to arrive 30 minutes before. So our bad. In that moment, after panicking, then we were able to find solutions and it became okay, became an experience that we tell. And we ended up staying in like a hostel, but we only at that time, we were saving money and we wanted to take the cheap way, so we only paid for one of us to go in the hostel, and then we snuck in the other person. We would do these kinds of things back then, and so that experience in itself was also a story to tell. But what I remember deeply from that moment is that I was not able to find solutions in a calm way. It was not easy to find solutions. I felt totally alone and, well, panicked. And now for the story of why this is happening and how I think these four ingredients can help you if ever you have felt that it's been way easier for you to be in panic, in a big, harsh emotional reactivity mode, whether it's answering your boss by email from something that you didn't expect to receive, or losing your phone, or having an accident, or having someone not show up for a meeting, or someone is late and then you need to find solutions, or you need to reorganize your schedule if someone actually cancels plans with you. And instead of having that be joyful and easy, it actually becomes a burden. Have you ever experienced that or felt that? And it's important for me that you know that this is only part of gaining more confidence. This is part of living life so confident in you that none of these little incidents will throw you off. And part of my tune in method and what I teach and coach my clients through is to nurture the relationship with themselves, to create this deeper connection with who they are. And when that happens, it's much easier to allow solutions to just be shown to you, to just arrive in your life with ease. And you don't have to be in panic. You don't have to have a panic attack. You don't have to be to have your heart racing when it feels like life is happening at you and you don't, you didn't plan for it. So these four ingredients I'm going to share with you are so that you can be in an easy solutions mindset. Okay. The first step, I'm going to share the first step and then I'll share the story. The first step is to acknowledge that this thing is happening, whether your colleague said something, or you're in a meeting and you got triggered, or again, someone cancels plans with you and you just feel in your body this big need to be in reaction. You feel not in control. That's often what happens when we are hit by this external circumstance. It's that we're no longer in control, and that rocks our boat and it shakes it all up. So the first step, the first ingredient to an easy solutions mindset is to be an acknowledgement that that is happening, like with facts. Okay. No story, no judgment, no fluff. For example, and here's my story. Here's the example that I have for you. On my way from Florida to Georgia, I decided to do like the scenic route and to stop on the beach of St. Augustine. And I found on Google vehicle access ramp. I thought, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I can drive on the beach with my car And then I was hearing people tell me that in Daytona Beach, people do that, and the sand is really compact, so you can ride on the beach with your car. And I thought, I've never done that. And so I was so excited to get there. So as soon as I got there, I looked at the signs, I followed the signs. Okay, this way, one way. I saw that it closed at 5 p.m. and I think it was like 3:45 p.m. when I arrived. So I thought, okay, great, I have some time. And so there I am riding on the beach, and I shot a video, and I'll try to show it to you. The video was so fun because I was driving slowly and I was seeing the big waves of the Atlantic Ocean, and I was feeling the sand and the very salty water. I had my window rolled down, and then I saw people kind of parked on the side of that one-way street on the beach. And I mean, it was far enough from the water that, it felt safe. So there I am. I just bring my car a little bit to the right, and then I park. I had a Toyota RAV4. And as soon as I did that I went off of the tracks, I noticed a little bit of a feeling as if the wheels of the car were all of a sudden anchored a little bit deeper in the sand. And in that moment, I had a thought, oh, this is the first ingredient, the acknowledgement without panic. The thought was, okay, I think I'm stuck. I didn't create a story of, oh my gosh, I'm so stupid to have come on the beach with this. No judgment. I didn't create a story of, oh my gosh, I'm not going to have enough time. I'm going to stay stuck on the beach. I'm not going to get to Savannah in time. I'm not going to pick up my friend from the airport. That would have been a story that I could have entertained mentally. And I could have been full on judgmental of myself for not seeing any sign that said you have to go on the beach with a 4x4. Like, I didn't see that sign. And I thought all to say that I thought the beach would be compacted enough that, if you can go on with your vehicle, and I was in full trust with the Toyota RAV4 that I could do that. And what I did is that I was just in total acknowledgement. Okay, the fact is, I just parked my car in sand. Fact. No judgment, no story, no fluff. Another part of the fact is, or to be an acknowledgement without panic, to add to the facts, I actually needed to go into, I needed to go into or out of the car and notice, okay, what is the actual fact? I am stuck. The fact was made a fact. The thought of, I think I'm stuck, became into a fact when I saw the picture, when I saw the car. I took a picture and I really noticed that the front left wheel of the car was in the sand deeper than what it should be. So from that point on, and I'm sharing this as a first ingredient to an easy solutions mindset, because having gone to panic at that time would have completely ruined my experience. I would not have, attracted so many people to help me. And I would have probably been stuck on the beach until after 5 p.m. Okay. So the first ingredient to an easy solutions mindset is to acknowledge without panic. Then from that point on, the second ingredient for me was that I made a choice. I made a choice to be in the present moment with my surroundings instead of, well, panicking or going straight into solutions mindset. Because mind you, I had only made probably 500, a half a mile. Okay. I was a half a mile into on the beach, and I had another mile and a half to go. So I hadn't fully lived the experience of being on that beach. And I wanted to see the sand dunes, and I wanted to go to the water. I had a snack. I wanted to have a snack on the beach. And so the choice I made was, I'm not going to forget the why that brought me here. I'm not going to forget the number one reason why I'm on this beach, and I'm going to be in the moment. Okay. I chose to be in the moment of where I am and enjoy. I was going to be in the energy of joy. So what I did is After I acknowledged that, okay, these are the facts of what's happening, I'm not going to go into story or judgment about it. I decided to take, and I think it was probably 2.5 minutes, but still, those 2.5 minutes had me be in joy of the surroundings. I walked to the sand dunes. I looked around. I took a picture. I took a deep breath in and a long, slow breath out. And then I walked towards the water. I felt the sand on my skin. I was able to allow myself, give myself permission to make the moment worthy, to make the moment a time to be experienced instead of going straight to the solutions, up to the solution. So when we're at choice, we really get to make a decision from the place that we want it, from the energy that we want. So I wanted to be in joy. I made that decision. I'm going to go on that beach because it's joyful for me to be on the beach, because it makes me feel on vacation when I'm on the beach. So if I had gone straight into, let's say I wouldn't have acknowledged the facts, I would have created those stories, I would have judged myself, my heart rate would have risen, I would have felt heat, and that totally blocks receiving of solutions. That totally blocks flow and joy. So I switched it completely around. I didn't want to have the same experience as when I was in a ball in the London bus terminal. That said, after acknowledging the facts of what is happening, I made a choice to be in the moment with my surroundings, and I took some pictures. That goes in alignment also with remembering why you're there. Even if you were in the car, you were on the way somewhere, or you lost your phone, or can we be in the energy of the mission and the vision behind where we were in that moment? That helps us connect with the energy and the feeling that we want to be in. And that takes us to ingredient number 3. Because from joy, for me, continuing this joy so that joy becomes the basis of finding a solution instead of having panic be at the root. And what that does is that I gathered 7 people to help me instead of the 2 people I went to see. 7 people gathered around me, the joyful Quebecer who's in Florida by the water on the beach, who's never been there. I was joyful. I was not in panic. I did not need to put my power in the hands of someone else, but what I decided to do was to keep my power for me, to keep being in that joy, because the joy allowed me to trust that I'm going to get out. I'm going to get out. I'm going to get out of the sand. I don't need to have panic be the basis of the experience, because what that would have done is have other people panic and not be willing to find solutions. In the 7 people who helped me, there were 6 people who were full on magnetized by my joy. There was one person who kept saying, she's going to get stuck. I'm not going to push. Didn't she see the signs that it's a 4x4? That person was on its own in the negativity. And if I had 1 ounce of panic or negativity, I would have probably had her energy be the power and the source of it, mixed with my energy. Well, I'm guessing that the 7 people would not have had the benefit, the trust that I would have gotten out, and that they would have a part in helping me. So by having joy be at the root of the experience, the foundation of the experience, instead of panic, I was able to, well, attract solutions. I gathered 7 people instead of the 2 that I went to see. So continuing this joy as you're asking for solutions, as you're receiving them. The 4th ingredient to an easy solutions mindset was one of the things that I think is the packaging to your hand cream. If your hand cream has no packaging, it's just everywhere and it has no purpose, because it just It's everywhere. But if your hand cream is in a package, it's in a pumping little bottle, it has a purpose. You can use it. So this fourth ingredient is what wraps everything up. The fourth ingredient has the acknowledgement, the choosing, and continuing the feeling and the energy you want to be in. So for me, the joy. The fourth ingredient makes these three first ingredients usable, and it gives them purpose. It gives them an end result. It makes them work. Because before I share the fourth ingredient, if I go back to the third ingredient of how I attracted these 7 people to help me, what really happened is that 6 people helped me get back, excuse me, 6 people helped me get out of the parking spot I was in, and they helped me get back on the tracks of the road that was on the beach. From there, they pushed me, and I was able to drive like not very far. And then they were like, "Yeah, that's it. We got you there." And then again, I got to acknowledge without panic. I got to be in the moment. I thanked each and every one of these people for taking their time, their precious time out of their day, and I expressed my gratitude to them. That also helped me continue in the joy because they were appreciated. And then a big Jeep comes down that beach road. So I run towards the beach with my joyful energy. And I said, "Oh, please, can you help me? Do you have a trick?" And then Tom, amazing Tom that I met on the beach, he actually deflated 30% or something. Maybe it's not the right percentage, but he deflated a little bit of each of the tires, and he gave me a push, and he said, "I'm going to be right behind you and I'm going to follow you out." Well, this is where the fourth ingredient comes in. The whole way that I was driving the mile and a half I had left on the beach with like it felt like I was in a bouncy car because there was less air in um my tires. So it was actually pretty cool. The fourth ingredient is feelingization. That is mixing visualization, feeling, and affirmation. Okay. So what I did the whole way there was I was feeling the relief in my body of getting out, and I was visualizing myself out of the beach in the car safely. And I was affirming out loud, "I am out and I feel the relief. I am out and I feel the relief." And I repeated that consistently until I was out and relieved. And guess what? I got out and I felt relieved. So it was a powerful experience. And so it's no longer just a moment or a failure or something I should have never done, because it actually helped me to realize, hey, look how easy it was to be solution oriented. Look how easy it was to get help and to receive. Look how easy it was to be in gratitude. I invite you to practice these 4 steps, these 4 ingredients to an easy solutions mindset. And listen, these can be things that you just listen, process for yourself, and let them be just something you know of, or you can actually put them in practice. And I know some people are telling me, "You're giving so much in your podcast. You should, keep some of it for your programs and for your paying clients." And you know what? Yeah, and this isn't the only work. This is only a piece of the pizza, okay, that you get to eat. And these 4 ingredients, they can only be practiced if you believe in yourself, if you believe that joy is accessible to you, if you believe that you are worthy of not judging yourself. And practicing all of these ingredients on their own is also very powerful. And if you ever do want to make this a consistent practice for yourself, then you get to say yes to yourself. I offer many different ways to put this in practice because, being solutions oriented can be for any part of your life. In any case, if you do want to just play and find out, okay, where are you in the tune in program? And how can I actually bring this into my life in a personalized way so that it works, so that I can keep accessing the confident person that I am, so that I don't need to burn out and keep putting my emails and my work and my schedule ahead of what I actually believe in, which might be accessing happiness regularly, consistently. Excuse me for the barking. Okay, so if ever you want to do that, just go to tuneinmethod.com or tuneinprogram.com. And okay, Melia wants to, if you hear her, she is sharing her agreement to these 4 different ingredients to an easy solutions mindset. On November 17th, 2022, I will be offering a pop-up workshop on feeling and creating connection within yourself, so that when you are making decisions like wanting to write a book or wanting to change jobs or wanting to move or wanting a partner in your life, you get to create the connection with your mission, with your passion, with your why, with yourself, with who you are first, so that maybe you don't need to change your job. Maybe you don't need to make drastic changes in your life, because when you are connected with who you are, you have clarity, you have focus, you know what steps to take, and you get to be solutions oriented without having a foundation of panic. So if you want to join the pop-up workshop, it's free. And I do these once a month when you are part of the Be Happy Now show crew. So just head on over to the BeHappyNowShow.com, and then you'll be prompted to click on Get Reminders to tune in weekly, or any of the buttons there that say to join the Be Happy Now show crew, so that you can be invited to the Zoom link. And what we do there is that you actually get to ask questions, be coached, and you get to always leave with action. You get to leave with powerful soul connection coaching questions so that you can put things into action right away. And that's a great way to just have a sneak peek in what working on yourself looks like and how are both of our energies vibing together. And I'd love to meet you. And this can be one of the ways that we do that. So everything will be written in the show notes. Thank you so much for being here with me. And don't forget to rate the show on Apple Podcasts, rate it 5 stars, and do leave a comment, share with us how much you are enjoying the show and what you're actually taking away. Are you practicing what you're sharing, what you're receiving here, and in what ways? I would really love to hear. Melia agrees and says bye. Okay, sending you a big hug. Thanks so much for being here. See you next week. You've been listening to the Be Happy Now show with me, Claudia-Sam. Flex your soul connection muscle and be your inner guide to fulfillment and purpose. You are worthy of being you and of connecting to what stops you from living the life you are meant to live. Access more soul connection coaching at ClaudiaSamCoaching.com.